Welcome back to 100 Seasons of BYU Football, a BYUtv special event. Joining me now on stage are two of the greatest quarterbacks in BYU football history, very much part of Lavell Edwards' quarterback factory. They are Marc Wilson and Robbie Bosco. The All-Americans are here with us on BYUtv. And I know we just heard a little bit about Lavell Edwards and the early part of his coaching career. And Marc, you recently talked to me on BYU Sports Nation about your recruitment and why you chose BYU. But in case there are some folks out there watching or here with us in the building that didn't know what went into that, why did you choose to play for Lavell Edwards and BYU?
Well, I came because Gary Scheide really and Lavell had committed to the passing game. And, you know, it gets lost because at that time that was such a huge thing, right? Because everybody ran the ball. They ran the wishbone of the power I or the V or something. Nobody was really throwing it. And Lavell kind of came to the conclusion that he didn't believe that BYU could win consistently unless we did something differently. If we played football the same way everyone was playing it, he didn't feel like we could win. And so he stepped out on a limb, a big step out on a limb, and decided he was going to throw the ball. And then to do that, you have to commit to it. And he obviously committed to it, which was shown by the way they played with Gary Scheide. And as a high school kid, that's what kind of got me excited about coming to BYU, is because I could go to other schools. I was recruited by USC, and I could go to USC and hand it off 50 times. Or I could come to BYU and throw it 40 times. And if you had aspirations to play in the NFL, and if you were a quarterback, this was the place to come. And so I decided to come, and you know, the rest is kind of history. But it was a tremendous experience. But it all started with Lavell and the courage that it took for him to kind of change course and then kind of chart a whole new direction for BYU.
Well said, and let me give you a little backdrop here based on what Marc just shared with us. Lavell believed, as Marc was saying, that he had to do something wildly different to have long-term success at BYU, and he told me in an interview late in his life, just he and I in Studio A at BYU Broadcasting, look, Spencer, I figured I was going to get fired in 5 years anyway. And BYU was not in a good place, so why not? Like, what's the worst that could happen? I'm probably going to get fired just like everybody else. Well, that was not the course for Lavell Edwards. And we need to mention a couple of names specifically. Coach Edwards talked about his old friend and Stanford football head coach John Ralston. And then Coach Edwards eventually brought to Provo Tennessee assistant coach Dewey the Swamp Rat Warren to help implement this full-on passing offense that was very much brand new in college football. So, Robbie, you followed up Marc, but, I mean, you were very well aware of what was happening in the mid to late 70s because this is when you were a budding younger star through middle school and high school. So what were your observations of this wild West Coast passing offense that Lavell Edwards and the Swamp Rat, Dewey Warren, among others, were doing at BYU?
Yeah, it's interesting. When I came to BYU, or thought about where I wanted to go to school, just like Marc said, I could go a lot of places and hand the ball off like crazy. But I was a junior in high school, and I saw this guy play football. And they were playing San Diego State on television, and his first 3 passes were for touchdowns. And I'm just like, that's where I want to go. But it wasn't that easy. It wasn't like, oh, it's going to be an automatic thing of where I was going to go and stuff like that. So I went through the recruiting process, and Sean Salisbury was down in Southern Cal, and I was up in Northern California. And I was going to wait to see where he was going to go to school. He was a member of the church, and I wasn't at the time. And so I'm like, he's going to get the first chance to play if we both go to BYU. So I decided I was just going to wait. I was going to just take my time and decide after that. And then Tom Ramage was recruiting me, and he was at my school. He was there for a whole week. I don't know if that was legal or not, but he was there for a whole week. And he knocked on my classroom door one time, and I went out there, and he said, Salisbury committed to USC. So I said, okay, I'm coming to BYU. And it was exciting from that time forth to watch BYU, see the likes of Marc Wilson, Jim McMahon, and play with Steve Young, and then follow him in his footsteps, and the rest was history.
There were about 30 seconds there where we couldn't hear you, Robbie, but you had some great things to say specifically about watching Marc play against San Diego State in 1979 and what was a de facto WAC championship game. And correct me if I'm wrong, Marc, I think the first 3 passes you threw in that game all went for touchdowns. Is that correct?
That was totally crazy. And I told you, in that interview a few weeks ago that the funny thing about that game was in the warm-ups to the game, I could not complete a pass. I could not complete a pass. There was no defense, and I could not complete a pass. And, if you're a coach, you don't really want to take your team off the field warming up for the game unless your quarterback's at least completed 1 pass, right? And so the defense went in, but Doug Scoville, the offensive coordinator, kept us out there until his quarterback completed at least 1 pass. We were out there by ourselves. No defense, nobody else, until finally I completed a pass, and then Doug said, okay, let's go get him. We'll take it in. And we're sitting in the locker room, and I'm thinking, because this was a nationally televised game, it was a big game. There was a lot of exposure to BYU. We were right around the top 10 in the country. First time we'd ever been ranked that high. And I'm thinking, this is a great time to forget how to throw a football. So there was nobody more shocked about the first 3 passes going for a touchdown than me.
Al Michaels on the call for all 3 of those touchdown passes, by the way. And, Robbie, it's a good thing he completed those passes because this was instrumental in what you viewed BYU football as.
Now I know is 4 passes in a row, so that's good to know.
Oh, that's great stuff. We mentioned the quarterback factory, and I know that if you're a BYU fan, you're very well aware of what's involved in that. But when you think about Gifford Nielsen and Gary Scheide before that, then Marc Wilson, then Jim McMahon and Steve Young and Robbie Bosco. When you see, Robbie, I'll ask you this first, but when you saw that Sports Illustrated with the quarterbacks, those models dressed up with your names and numbers on the back of that factory line, what was that like for you?
Well, I tell you what, it gave me a lot of anxiety, first of all. I mean, because here, all these All-Americans, championships, throwing for all these yards, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to even compete with these kind of guys and to do what they did. My only goal was to not be the first quarterback to ever lose the championship because these guys have won like 5 or 6 in a row. And so it was nerve-wracking. So it took a couple of games for us as a team to get going. But once we played after that second game, with the great defense, offense that we had, special teams, I knew we were going to be a good football team.
Marc, you had a unique perspective watching this 84 BYU football team that went on to win a national championship. We've got some hardware around us to celebrate once again just what an accomplishment that was. But you were so close to an undefeated season yourself. So what kind of emotions did you feel when you're watching Robbie in the Holiday Bowl get injured and thinking, oh, man, I've been there before.
Yeah, well,
they got to hold it together.
It actually goes back because, it was mentioned earlier, that Pittsburgh game. I remember watching that Pittsburgh game. And, it was a tight game, and it came down to the end. And I remember when Robbie threw that touchdown, I was in the NFL then. There was nobody more excited than me. And there was not a bigger fan of BYU and a bigger rooter of Robbie and that team than me. And so to see them go undefeated, to be the national championship, I mean, that was just unbelievable. That was just unbelievable. So, as I said, I've been such a huge fan of his, all the guys that have followed, but that was a special team. That really was a special team, and I was their biggest fan.
Great stuff. Robbie, one final question before we let you gentlemen go back and join your lovely wives and families in your seats. But I got to know that touchdown pass to tie the game in the national championship game. Just on record here. Were you trying to throw it out of bounds, or did you know Kozlowski was back there?
Look, there was a play before we were going down, and I threw a great pass. I threw it hard. It was a bullet and everything. It went off his shoulder pads for an interception. So I thought maybe I need to float the ball a little bit to give Koz a chance. And he made probably one of the great catches of all time.
Oh, one of the fantastic moments in that national championship performance. Thank you, Marc and Robbie, for your time. Robbie Bosco and Marc Wilson.